Today on the Terrible Warriors, return to Halcyon City, the city of superheroes, into our group of teenage superheroes who are just about ready to set foot onto the stage. This city has seen heroes before. It's used to their stories. In fact, they're 4 generations deep. And everyone has an opinion of what kind of hero our heroes should become. And who will shape their destiny? Well, stay tuned, true believers, because they're not just superheroes. They're the Terrible Warriors. Welcome back to the Terrible Warriors. I'm your game master for this campaign, Justin Ecock, sitting around my table of teenage superheroes. They don't have a team name yet, but they're definitely a team to be reckoned with. Starting from my right, we have playing the Transformed, the Brontosaur.
Orie Falconer, what's going on? What's up?
The Delinquent, Jane Doe.
I'm Jenn Walker.
And the Outsider, White Light.
And this is Erika Szabo.
And how did you find our introduction? We've set up the scene and introduced our 3 characters for this team, our trio. How was that first impression for you? How do you like this game?
It's good.
It's fun. It's
Yeah.
playful.
We only kind of scratched the surface of it so far.
Yeah.
Like we barely got to really get into
This was like
stuff
the free
this.
comic book day issue that doesn't do anything except a couple splash screens.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And then for more, buy the issue when it comes out in the fall.
Look how weird our characters look.
Yeah, exactly. We got a dinosaur and an alien and someone who likes to smoke weed. It's real edgy comic books.
Yeah. Hey man, this isn't your kid's
Super
comic book.
edgelord.
Yeah.
So
Edgelord. Oh, that'd be a good name.
Yeah, if the Delinquent wants to change her name to Edgelord, I will not object.
Much better than the name I came up with.
So I have a scene in mind to start if you want me to prompt you there, but we can set it however further from your battle with the Void. It can be the next hour, the next day, the next week. If anyone would like to go somewhere to talk with someone, maybe you want to have a therapy session with Dr. Baumgartner. Maybe some characters just want to have some alone time with each other to talk and share about their time with the team. By all means, if you have a suggestion, you can speak up now.
Yeah, I would like that. I would like to have some time with y'all. This was our first fight, guys. That was kind of scary.
So
That's a good idea. We should debrief
So
on
before
that.
we start then, Erika, White Light, where is this happening? Or first, when is this happening? How long after?
Maybe an hour or 2 after our last fight.
And where are y'all meeting up? Where is this scene going to take place?
Where's our base?
Do we have an HQ?
We haven't talked about it. I mean, you presumably do. It can the HQ can be whatever you think is reasonable.
Okay.
I liked your basement.
Yeah.
We're just in the Delinquent's basement. So this is becoming closer and closer to Stranger Things. So
I just have to stick my head through the window. Like it's like the Big Friendly Giant show. Like I'm just like the.
don't. You can fit in the basement.
Can I?
Yes.
Can I?
It's one of those like they dug into the foundation a little while ago.
I don't think
and
her
it's got,
dad
a
would do
10-foot
that. I
ceiling.
don't think.
You might have to bend your long neck.
Yeah, at the very least, it's cramped.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're just used to cramped spaces.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not you're grotesque, but you're not 10 feet tall.
But my neck is huge. Have you seen a brontosaurus?
No. Your neck is you're still human, but you got like you look like one of those weird from the Clone Wars. Like your neck is elongated, but it hasn't gone full on brontosaurus. It's just stretching grossly.
All right.
But
in your idea of what my character is, I guess that's fine.
Well, I'm just trying to find a way that doesn't intentionally debilitate your character from being in any indoor
My
scene.
character's whole character is being debilitated in social situations. That's what the transformed is.
I'm just gonna say you can fit in the basement.
Fine.
There you go.
Good. We're all in the basement then.
We're all in the
all
basement.
happy.
You
We're
clearly
sitting in the
have a
basement.
lot to talk about.
Yes.
So
I mean, it's a sore issue for me.
yeah.
About having to be this dinosaur that's
we
not
all-
even as cool as other dinosaurs.
Well, I think we all feel a little bit insecure to some degree, but I will say good job to all of us for doing so well in our first fight. That was scary. I know I was really scared, and I really appreciate your encouragement, Jane, because that's the thing with my abilities is that I know I have this strength inside me, but I also, I don't know what I'm fully capable of, and I wouldn't want to like do something horrible either, especially with my solar abilities too, you know? But to know that I'm able to do something like use my light ability to help stop that debris, I'm very happy about that, and I'm so happy to have each of you here for encouragement and everything. So, yeah, thanks, fam.
That battle was pretty lit.
Yeah.
It's a shame we let those henchmen get away.
I know, what was in that box? Because it almost seemed like...
There's absolutely no way that's important in any way.
Oh, okay. The void seemed almost like a distraction to something else happening. But I don't know. I mean, that's just speculation, right? But we have to figure something out with that. I mean, we might come across those henchmen in the future.
We never figured out why they were there or what they were doing.
Thing?
They got away without any explanation, so...
Yeah.
It was all over the news. You'd think that Ecock would have said what they were stealing, or maybe it was something super secret that they don't want coming
maybe we should be talking to these Ecock people about what exactly they're working on and why is it worth stealing.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That is a good idea. Okay.
Okay, and is there anything from this scene that you want to get out of it, Erika? Was there any shifts in labels or influence? Something more like mechanical in the game?
No.
Okay,
I just wanted to offer support to everybody here and to know that we all did good.
So
and to maybe help like figure out how we should assess the situation in the future and what we should be doing, right?
While you two are talking in the basement, Jane, you head upstairs. I don't know, get water or go to the washroom or something, and your father's upstairs and confronts you. He's going like, really wish you weren't hanging out with them. They're not. You keep ending up in the news. Keep ending up as one of those superheroes.
Well, what would you prefer I do, Dad? Just keep hanging out in the streets, causing trouble? At least I'm doing something meaningful.
Okay. So what he's doing here is every adult in Masks has by default influence over every character in the game, every player character, unless and until the point that you reject that influence. Pulling you aside, and I don't want to spend too long doing like the role play back and forth, he's concerned that you and your abilities and your friends are making you dangerous, more dangerous. The destruction that you're causing, the danger you're putting yourself in, the danger you're putting your family in, the danger that you're putting your other friends in. These powers, these abilities that you have, he doesn't think should be used the way you're using them, and certainly not without guidance, and you are acting dangerously. Now, you can accept that, and there's rules that go around accepting influence. When someone has influence for you, when they take advantage, give them -2 and inflict a condition on them, take an additional +1 on the move. When someone tells you that you are how the world is, accept what they say or reject the influence. If you accept what they say, I, the GM, will adjust your label accordingly. But if you want to keep your labels as they are, you must reject that person's influence. When you reject the influence, you then have to roll. You have to roll to tune them out, and then there's consequences to rejecting someone's influence from you, including you have to clear a condition or mark potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong. That's not bad. Shift one label up and down of your choice rather than my choice, or you can cancel their influence entirely. You shut them out, and then you take a +1 against any future rolls against them. It's called a forward. And on a miss, their words will hit you even harder. You will take a condition, and I'll still adjust your levels.
Okay, I think I'll roll.
So it's like a double or nothing kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And then there's also rules for influencing other teammates. You tell another teammate, hey, you know what? I think you're acting like a real freak, right? Like, and then that's going to change. It doesn't have to be directly naming the labels. Like, it can be more subtle than that. But at any time, since most of us have influence over everyone else, I think the only one is white light over the brontosaur. At any time, like in that basement conversation you're having, you can exert that influence over characters you have influence over, going like, you were such a good hero there, saving all those people. It really was inspiring to me. If you accept that phrase and go, okay, yeah, you're right, I was, boost the label. Right? Or you can be like, no, I wasn't saving people. I was just looking out for myself. You can reject the influence and you can move that around. So that kind of stuff happens all the time. These labels and these stats will keep changing throughout the game.
Okay.
Right? Big, long explanation. But I was bringing you upstairs to confront your father to have this little tutorial. So he's going like, you're acting dangerous. You're being dangerous. You're going to get people hurt.
So I don't think so. I think I'm acting in the best interest of people and doing things the way that makes sense to me. So I guess that would be a rejection of that influence.
So first, when you reject someone's influence, you roll the dice.
Okay.
And the dice are normally on this only modified by other conditions, which you don't have any. So, do you?
I have one condition.
Which condition do you have?
Afraid.
What does afraid affect?
-2 to directly engage a threat.
Okay. So right now, although that might clear after time because time has passed.
Okay.
But it's still that evening after the fight. So yeah, that whole thing is like you're a little rattled by how intense things got with the void.
Yeah.
Right? So so you meet up with your dad. You're actually going to take a -1 to the roll because you have that condition.
Okay. So I rolled a 3. So I guess that'd be 2.
Oh no, sorry. That would be insecure. Would be the only thing that would affect it. So never mind. I'm not going to mix up the rules.
Okay.
So just roll the 2 dice. Tell me what you got.
I got 3.
You got 3. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
So your dad takes you aside and says you're acting dangerous.
Yeah.
You go, but it doesn't matter whether or not you want to show it. He's right, and it affects you. You're gonna mark insecure.
Okay.
He's made you feel real insecure now about your abilities as a hero, and as well as that, your danger is going to go up.
Okay.
And your savior is going to go down.
Okay. Oh.
No, your superiority is going to go down.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Goes down? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, these will keep shifting up and down. I almost would, if I were to make this again, I would make little cards with sliders.
Oh yeah, that would be a good idea.
That would be really
like
great.
something
Or like
you
a
could actually.
dial
Yeah.
with, I don't know if you guys have played Betrayal on the House of the Hill.
Yeah.
Basically character cards like that with 5-side dials. You could then move your stats as they're constantly shifting because these things change all the time.
That would be a really
Right.
good
That
idea.
actually might be what I do when I return to this game later in March. So, yeah, there we go, Justin. Excellent idea. So, while this is happening upstairs, Erika, you're downstairs with Brontosaur.
Yeah.
Do you want to follow through that scene with just him, or do we want to skip to a new scene? Do something else, go somewhere else?
Well, shouldn't I check my phone because I did have a message from
Yeah,
the end of last episode.
we can do that. I can do that follow-up scene. A monitor is being assigned to you to
okay.
check in.
Okay.
Your family is concerned that you are integrating a little too intensely with human society. You're not acting like a tourist
Lovely.
when you're getting involved in criminal, control.
Oh, I just realized I had a move that went with my last roll. I should have used.
What did it do?
I have an I don't care what you think. Whenever you reject others' influence, add +2 to your roll. But I don't think it would have made a difference.
You rolled
there.
a 3. It only brought it up to a 5, but that's a good thing to remember.
Okay.
But for every roll in the game, 6 and under is always a miss, 7 to 9 is a near hit, and 10 plus is always a full hit.
Do you add
So
potential for that? Would I add potential for that miss?
Absolutely. Every time you roll a miss, you always roll potential. And every time you roll 7 to 9, you'll get what you want because you're going to tell me this is what I want to do. And then you roll the dice and you'll get it. Except on a 7 to 9, it's going to happen with you'll get it, but I'm also going to throw a bunch of things into the works. On a 10 or higher, you get exactly what you wanted. It goes out exactly as you hope, just like when you unleashed your powers. Yep, you hold the ceiling up. Good job. and then you got to have that team moment afterwards where you're like, that was really fucking awesome. So we can worry about the monitor in a minute, but that's on one of my things I got to set up here.
Okay, sure.
And what did I have here? Great. So that happens up with the dad. Do you want to follow through with what's going on in the basement, or do you want to skip ahead to something else? You sound really interested in meeting this monitor.
We could do that. I mean, I think we had our talk.
Yeah.
Encouragement.
Yeah,
So
that
I think
sounds-
we're pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the base is definitely now the basement.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay.
It's the basement.
It's the best.
So just as you're leaving that evening, I guess, to head home, and you're getting ready to leave Jane's house, and you walk out of the basement, you notice hovering just outside down the street a Galilean craft, and they're waiting for you. There's a glass dome, and you can see another person of your species sitting inside, and they're in like a government uniform kind of thing, like the kind of thing that diplomats would wear, and which is a little bit more. It's not as flashy as the stuff that you're used to. It's more utilitarian.
Yeah, of course.
So as you come out, they motion for you to approach the craft. And I guess you're going to go ahead with that?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead with that and go ahead and chat.
And where do you stay, Brontosaur?
I'm gonna be going back to the compound where my
Where Baumgartner?
yeah.
Or like a rehab center almost.
basically yeah
Okay.
yeah,
All
and
right.
eventually I would like to have that scene.
We're gonna go there then
Yeah.
right after. So we're actually we're each having a moment with the parental units, right? We met Dad, and then we're gonna meet the monitor, and then we're gonna meet the doctor. So your ship flies off, and it heads to the Galilean consulate that's in downtown Halcyon. I imagine Jane's house is like in like one of the burbs, just outside the city, like it's regular houses. Like I don't know, Queens or something. Like it's just this little, or not even like further out of the city. It's still part of Halcyon City, but for Toronto, it's like the far end of Scarborough, right? It's where you start seeing more houses and driveways and backyards. But the ship goes up into the air, flies through, and arrives at the consulate. And everything's lit up and buzzing. Galileans don't exactly follow a 24-hour human clock, so everything's going. There's people coming and going, and conversations. There's entertainment. In fact, as you're going through, you see one of your music videos playing up on a big screen, right? Like the white light, and they bring you into a meeting room where basically a social worker has been assigned to your case.
Okay.
And when they meet you, they are also concerned about the news they've been seeing with the fighting against Nucleopatra and now against the Void. You seem to just kind of show up where there's an explosion and just think you can fix things. And diplomatically, things are a little tense with the two species right now. And maybe Halcyon City doesn't want a Galilean outsider running around fixing their problems for them when we were almost at war like a year ago. And so they're questioning your judgment on this. And are you really certain that you have humanity's best interest here by interfering in their internal affairs? And they want you to end this little vacation trip and head back home.
I don't think that's going to happen,
They have
unfortunately.
a message from your family that they've written out.
Okay.
They're all about like how much they miss you and how much they want to get back to working again, and they haven't had a royalty check in weeks, and are you really just gonna let your family run out of money when they're dependent on your work and your success as a teen pop idol? You don't have that many years left where you're gonna be able to keep this up before you just get too old for the job.
Well, I mean, I love my family very much, and I want them to know that, but I also need just some more space, and I want to get to know humans more, too. I've been having a really good time here on Earth, and I really want to be able to explore this part of my life more. I think that this is a time in my life where I'm supposed to be able to explore and be free and learn lessons and grow, grow as a Galian. And I want them to understand. I want them to understand why this is important.
The monitor smiles and calmly says, like, the best way to understand being a Galian is to be among other Galians. And until you come to your senses, it has been decided that the diplomatic corps has decided that she is going to be assigned to accompany you as you interact further with Halcyon City. So where you go, she goes.
Okay.
Chaperone.
There's no
I believe
way
it's
around
the human
that.
term.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I have no choice, I suppose I don't know how I feel about that, but I mean, if my family feels like that's how they want to keep tabs on me,
Okay.
I would prefer that not to happen, but I still want to be here for my friends,
Okay.
for Brontosaur
So
and Jane.
accepting this, I want you to raise your freak stat.
Okay.
Where is it now?
I'm at +1.
Okay, so raise it up to 2
Okay.
and bring your mundane down by 1.
Okay. Okay.
And on your way out of the consulate, as you're walking now with this, like, babysitter who's going to be following, she's hovering, always floating.
Oh,
She's sort of like, it's really obnoxious. As you're going through, you remember Grass Dragon, the one who flew in after you fought the Void,
yeah.
who took over. He's walking into the consulate as well with a team of, like, other people, clipboards and other diplomats, mostly humans. He's there as a representative. And you catch his eye, he catches your eye, and there's this real genuine, like, approval that he kind of sends to you. And you feel like you've got an ally now among the humans. If you ever, there's this moment of, like, it's just a glance, but it's just a glance where I'm even going to give you mark potential, where you go, okay, cool. You know, someone's on my side.
Okay. All right. Maybe I made the right decision then. All right. Well, let's go with it.
And you arrive back at what are you calling it? Just the compound? Are you
Yeah.
Maybe other people who live there, they affectionately call it the zoo.
Yeah.
And these are, like, other, like, teen accident monster places where, like, there's the invisible boy who's never gonna, and he's just like you see, like, nurses running down to, he's clearly naked again, and he's running down the hallway, and they're trying to follow him, and he's, like, throwing stuff around, and Dr. Baumgartner is waiting for you, arms crossed, going like, you've had a night.
I sure have. Is that a problem?
Not at all. Not at all. Well, this city depends on its heroes and its defenders. Just, you seem to handle that with a certain degree of restraint. It's just too bad he got away.
Yeah, he got away because he had a teleporting gun that I couldn't see. I did the best I could for the situation that was presented to me. Do you want to maybe charge at the guy with the laser gun and the teleporting powers?
Well, maybe next time I wouldn't charge at the guy with the laser gun until I've assessed the situation and the situation appropriately. You could be someone great. You could be the next great hero of this city. You could have statues down the halls like all the others that have come before you. But instead, you just want to run headfirst through every wall that stands in your way. You have been given a gift.
A gift? This. The brontosaur. The brontosaurus. The lamest of all dinosaurs. That's what I am.
I don't see 20 times the strength of a human lame in any way.
Don't get me
I
wrong.
don't see the ability to jump from 30 stories and land without a scratch to be lame in any way.
That
I don't see any
you,
of the strength you offer.
misunderstand. That's what I like.
You are one of the strongest cases I've ever worked with.
But I'm a joke. I'm a walking joke. I should be more than a brontosaurus. I should be a T-Rex. I should be a pack of raptors.
You're rejecting his advice here. That,
Yes.
That you are more superior than you think you are.
I am superior, but I should be better.
Okay, but you're not.
I need to be more than I am now.
Roll the dice. Do you have any conditions?
Yeah, angry.
Okay.
It's...
Actually, you can clear that anger. By no. You can clear that anger. If you're angry, once a condition is marked, take -2 certain moves. Clearing conditions. You can hurt someone or break something important. If you hurt someone or break something important, you've like vented out that condition.
Okay.
So that's one thing you can use against angry conditions. You could use that to clear instead of rejecting the influence from Baumgartner, or you could just reject the influence from Baumgartner and we'll deal with that.
Okay. I think I would just break something.
But it has to be something important. It just can't
Yeah.
just be like punching a hole in the wall. It's got to be like punching a hole through like, I don't know, something that's really like has some sentimental value to you that reminds you of your humanity. It'd be like picking up your old guitar that you can't play anymore and smashing it to pieces because you're never going to play that guitar again.
That does make me mad on several levels. Yeah, I think I would do that just for the visual.
Okay, we're gonna do that
of a
after.
dinosaur man breaking a guitar.
First, we're
'cause
gonna
that's pretty
reject
metal.
the influence though from Baumgartner because he's caught you in the hallway.
Yeah.
So you reject his influence. What'd you roll?
I got a 4.
You got a 4. So you try to be like superior. I'm a joke.
Yeah.
And yet you know he's right. You are better,
Yeah.
and it does hit home. And even though
but-
you're not able to accept what he's saying, so part is
It's
your
not that I
superior
don't-
label is still gonna go up one.
Okay. But that's the thing. Like, I'm not rejecting the idea that I'm more powerful now. It's that
Your
I want
danger level
I
is
want
going
to
to
be
go
more
down
powerful than I want to.
Your superior level goes up 1. Your danger level goes down 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it always goes up one or the other. It's always shifting.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? And because he doesn't think you're a danger to society.
No,
Right?
I don't think I'm a danger to
So-
society
yeah,
either.
Exactly. So so it hits home though because there's something about that you can't really go with. I'm gonna put hopeless as your condition because you feel real trapped in this. Like you're a joke. No. You're still angry.
Oh,
We're gonna deal with that as and then you're hopeless.
I'm angry and hopeless.
Yeah. You
Oh
got
man.
2 conditions, but you're gonna clear
What's up,
your
grade
anger.
9?
You're gonna clear your anger because after you pass by Baumgartner, like we said, you're gonna head back to your bunk
Yeah.
and you're gonna pick up that guitar from when
Yeah.
you were a human. And
Yeah.
You smash it to pieces.
Yes.
And you clear the anger condition, and you're never going to be able to play the guitar again. You know that because you're stuck. You're transformed.
Mm-hmm.
You're stuck as this.
There's no going
You're
back.
stuck as this brontosaur.
Yeah.
Your heart is-
Brontosaurus.
Well, your name is the Brontosaur. You told me.
Yeah, it
Spelled
is.
Like
Yeah,
sore,
yeah.
like hurt.
Yes. On the inside.
It'd be like Tyrannosaurus hurt. Okay, so had these moments here with everyone, shifting labels, rejecting influences.
They think I only eat grass, but I really just eat my own emotions, bury them down inside.
And the grass that they offer you.
Yes,
So-
it's very delicious and full of nutrients.
So that's the end of the night. Is there? Something is going to happen in the city. There's later in the week, you come across a story in the news that a public building, one of the old post offices, has overnight it's gone. People woke up and it was just there was a scooped out crater where it used to be, and it's just
The post office?
the old post office, not the one that's currently in use. It was like
So
it had been
no harm,
replaced
no
and built
foul.
over. It was turned into like a public museum.
Oh.
No one was there at night. There's a
Museum.
security guard that's missing, but the thing had been just it's gone. It's a mystery. Weird. And is there anything you wanted to follow up on what the Void had done? You've also got like New Cleopatra is still on the loose. You've got your ally with Grass Dragon. You've got your rivalry with Shadowhawk.
Yeah.
Is there anything you're interested in pursuing with this team?
Where does that old post office fall in like jurisdiction wise?
The whole Shadowhawk jurisdiction thing isn't even recognized by most of the superhero community. Like,
Yeah.
I think he's a bit of like a cantankerous asshole.
Yeah.
Like, he's been around since the 70s, and he's just like, man, what are you talking about turf wars? This is like Facebook era. Like, fucking get along. We're all together or we're not together. This whole idea that you get to stake out a section of your city. The other soups don't recognize that, but he like pushes the other people around who don't have as much influence.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I mean,
At least that's what Baumgartner says.
to me, it would seem that this attack that we just didn't really foil, but like this situation we just had with these people phasing out parts of buildings and this building that's missing are probably connected in some way. But I want to be able to figure out what Exocon is and what they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, I don't really want to split up either. What do you guys think?
No, I don't really want to split up. I think that because we're all kind of in this together anyways, we all experience this, we should probably go at it together and confront the issue.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we would just go to the site of this crater
Okay.
and see what we can find.
Okay. So when you arrive at the crater, there's the white tapes or the yellow tapes that are around caution and stuff, but like there's no investigation going on because it's like they don't know what to do. It's just Halcyon City has gotten very good at repairing damage and missing buildings. You know that in like a couple days, this building is going to be replaced with something new. Some of the more tech-oriented superheroes are going to have moved in and using their drones and whatever to rebuild something else. So, this is an opportunity for the city to, out with the old, in with the new.
No love for the old post office, huh?
It's gone. What are you going to do? But while you're there...
All those letters to Santa.
You do notice Grass Dragon is there, and he's actually consulting with Shadowhawk, and they're down in the crater, and it looks like Grass Dragon's got looks like these symbols hovering in front of him that he's using to like scan the surrounding area. In a language you can't understand, in whatever mystic art he was trained in, and Shadowhawk is just kind of like standing back a little bit and chatting with him with his arms folded, watching what's going on. But it seems to be like it's his investigation, but he's using Grass Dragon's abilities. What's going on?
Okay.
So this is what's going on.
So I think we would just push forward and just kind of like assert ourselves.
Yeah, I would really like to talk to Grass Dragon, especially after he gave me that nod of approval. I am a little bit worried about Shadowhawk, but maybe we can figure something out. Maybe pull him aside for a bit just to speak to him.
Well, maybe we could
There is a
keep Shadowhawk occupied while you talk to Grass Dragon.
There is a
try to
move here that we haven't
True.
used yet called Provoke Someone. And provoking someone is you say what you're trying to get them to do, and you roll a superior stat. And on a 10 or higher, they rise to the bait, and they do exactly what you want them to do. So if you want to get Shadowhawk out of here, you can act in a certain way to provoke and push him. And if you get it, he'll fall for it. And if not, then there's stumbles and errors that they do, and if they don't at all, you'll still get potential and even a few other things. But
So, like, say we wanted to act apologetic towards Shadowhawk, but really we just want to distract him.
that's not really provoking. And then at that point, that's comfort or support.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But that's for clearing conditions. You can also pierce the mask to see the person that's going on beneath. Like, what are they really planning? What do they want to do with me? What do they want to intend to do? Those are questions. You get to ask one of those questions when you pierce the mask. Or in this case, you might just talk to them. There might not be a move, or you might have a playbook move that you can use. But anything more complicated, it's actually an adult move called Persuade with the Best of Interests. You have to
Okay.
level up for that.
Yeah,
You're
of
still
course.
snotty teenagers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't even really spoken to Shadowhawk, so maybe we should just speak first, right?
Yeah.
You've actually never spoken to him.
Yeah,
Like, in
I don't
all
know.
this-
I'd feel
everything
kind
has
of
just
bad
been
if we were
done
just
in the
going to
news
provoke
and on
him.
social media.
He'll think even worse of us.
And
you
some
know,
of his
if we
like,
just,
Yeah.
like some of his sidekicks that have gotten
aggro.
involved, the other like wards that work underneath and as part of the Hawk family, sort of like the Bat
I
family.
guess we don't
Yeah.
want to
I
alienate
kind of see him
ourselves
as like
right
a
away.
Batman.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe we should just try and see if we can.
He's like a weird
create
purple
some
Batman.
peace.
There's been purple Batman.
Yeah.
They're all weird.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Let's. Yeah. I guess.
But like
let's
instead of a cape, it's like feathered,
Yeah.
and
It's like Birdman.
yeah, it's got like bird person.
Yeah. Bird person. Yes.
With like this purple Hawkman mask.
Yeah.
And he's a gadget oriented. He would be a beacon if he was a younger teen, if he was one of the playbooks. But he's since become a paragon. He's upgraded himself. So
Okay. Yeah. I guess. I guess. First things first. Like actually trying
Let's
to
just try and
converse
talk to him,
with these two guys and see
Okay.
what's going on.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So.
so you
we're
walk
just
up.
gonna.
and,
Yeah. We're just march up.
Dragon is working on the sensors, and he's in like this meditation, and Hawk sees it come down. He's kind of like, okay.
It's like, all right, what seems to be the situation here, fellow hero man?
Post office went missing.
Yeah, I could see that. How did it go missing?
We're figuring it out.
Do you have any leads?
Why would I share any leads with people who don't even respect me?
Because maybe those people don't respect you because you never share any leads.
Okay.
Hey guys, we're all on the same team here.
Maybe we should. Maybe instead we
You
should
just
talk.
provoked someone, buddy.
Yeah, I
Roll
did.
your superior roll.
Brontosaur,
Oh,
what
my
have you
superior is
done?
good.
Roll it.
No.
It's got a -1. Oh boy. Yeah, that's not so bad
If
actually.
anyone wants to help the provoke, you
That
have
is-
4 points in team. If you want to add in like a team pool.
Well, I just got a 10, like 11 -1.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So what exactly did you say?
I said maybe people would respect you if you shared leads with them. Maybe other heroes would respect you if you actually cooperated.
And the moment is like you kind of like you caught
Stare
him.
down.
You caught him. Like the thing is, he stumbles just a bit here, where he's like, "Yeah, you're right. We don't have any leads. It's a complete mystery. Vanished in the middle of the night. Grass Dragon think it has something to do with the barrier between worlds.
Barrier between worlds.
Whoa.
Yeah, the building might have slipped into another dimension. It happens. It might come back.
It
It's
happens?
the only reason why they
This is
haven't
so
built a new building on
casual.
top of the place is it could come back this evening.
What?
Happens. It's Halcyon City. These things are like almost mundane commonplace.
All right, fair.
There are other worlds
Yeah, that's not in question. It's just
than
that
ours.
I just never got the impression that buildings could just disappear and it's like no big deal.
Well, we try not to panic the public about it, but it happens.
Does it have anything to do with those weapons that the Void was carrying?
What weapons were the Void carrying?
Uh,
I didn't
we
read.
saw some sort of portal. Or-
Yeah, he escaped before he could get into the building. Exocon didn't report any missing inventory. Did you see something?
Well, we saw some henchmen carrying a box out of the building. We weren't able to stop them while trying to save the people.
Typical Black Ops. They never share anything. He's going to have a word with the Exocon board of directors. He's got a connection. And he checks with Grass that everything's going to be okay for him to leave, and he heads off to look into this missing item. And just as he leaves, he looks back at the three of you. He goes, "Thanks for the tip." He's just kind of like not really sure how to take it all in just yet, and then like heads up, gets into his Hawkmobile, and Godzilla.
Hawkmobile? Please tell me it doesn't fly.
I was thinking it was gonna be like the Final Fantasy 15 car, where it actually kind of like, unfolds into like this wink thing, and off it goes.
Yeah. But it's like never enough runway.
No, it's never, because it's a tiny like old
Yeah.
closed off city. So
Is Grass Dragon still here? Can we?
so
speak
yeah,
to
he's still
him?
there. He finishes up, and as he says, like that was quite mature of you working with him the way you did. As he ends his scans. There's much potential in all of you if you know how to not let them get to you. As he smiles to himself, talking about the adults.
Parents just don't understand.
So why do you think the missing post office and the attack from the void are related?
Well, they seem to be using some kind of technology that was phasing out parts of like physical objects.
And there was clearly something in the box that they wanted, and it could have had to do with their piece of technology as well. We're just want to find answers,
Yeah.
just like everybody else.
We don't have a lot to go on, but they
Yeah.
seem somewhat similar.
He's impressed. His abilities allow him to confirm that this area that they're standing in it has an air of like the it's like when air is ionized after like an electrical fire and that, but in that there was a tear in the dimensional barriers here. This place is currently out of phase, just slightly. In fact, where you're standing is currently another world. Just a bit. And he's impressed that you were able to you're able to make those connections even without his own abilities to do that. And I think we're going to have to keep a close eye on the three of you. This guy's a little different from some of the other adult heroes. They tend to be a little more stuck up and egotistical, like Shadowhawk. They're kind of like, fine, I guess you are good for something kind of people. But he seems to have some kind of care about what happens here with you all. But he can't offer much more. This place was taken, and there won't be much more to find out unless other places are also taken. So all I can do is keep collecting the evidence and watching and waiting.
Okay.
He doesn't
Well,
seem too worried about waiting for more places to be vanished. He just wants to. He's taking like this approach of inaction.
Yeah. It's a little too passive, I think. Like, I would rather,
Reactionary.
Yeah.
Like he wants to react, not respond.
like, shouldn't we, like, put out a stakeout? Like, shouldn't we try to catch them in the act? Like,
Where would you stake out? Lightning won't strike twice. They won't be coming back here.
well, maybe not here, but was there anything that this old post office and Exocon would have had in common? Like some kind of trend that they're going after?
Exocon's a new building built in only the last few years after one of the reconstructions. Post office had been here since the founding of Halcyon. They have almost nothing in common.
Maybe the post office was some kind of test for a bigger thing, since it wasn't a building that was in use.
That's a pretty good idea, actually.
If they had taken tech from the Exocon building, like you suggested, that's entirely possible. But really, you should be taking this up with Aegis. The agency has the manpower to deal with these sorts of threats. Young heroes like you should be dealing with new Cleopatra and other nonsense.
And other equally silly villains that are meaningless.
This is a bit above your punching class.
Oh, you can't fathom my punching class. It's the same as a dinosaur.
As this is happening, you guys start to feel this, like the ground starts to shake, and Dragon looks up, and throws out like a green ring out into the sky to like sense what's happening, and you can hear like a rumble and like distant screams. And one of the taller, like this is like an Empire State Building kind of thing in Halcyon. As you see it, it would be down about 20 blocks from you, but it's a high enough building that it stands out, and it seems to have like a double image over it, and it's like it's vibrating.
Oh.
And but enough that's also like the ground is moving. And he goes, "Return to your base, children. This is too dangerous for you." And he just flies off.
Children?
Ooh, ouch.
So, are you rejecting that influence?
I am.
All right. Yeah. This thing begins to happen as this building. It's like, it's almost like those images when you look at the old 3D images without the glasses on.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's almost like two different colors overlapping each other.
Mm.
And but it's shaking. You actually see parts of the building like breaking away from the force of whatever's happening here.
Time and space is in danger.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do something about this. I don't know what we can do. I mean, this seems way bigger than any of us here. However, I also don't want to just be standing around and not do something. You know?
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Right, should we move closer to the action?
Yeah.
I'm interested. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Let's get in there.
Okay. So I guess you didn't bring the helijet with you.
No.
You just
No.
took public transit.
Yeah.
No?
Just took the bus.
So you start running. Actually, your abilities, White Light, you could fly and carry them with you.
Oh,
if you
yeah.
want to go
I would
do
like
that.
to do that. Yeah,
So
sure.
that's not like exerting your
Do
powers.
I have like a lot of strength or something? 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You're
like a
think
big
like Green
guy,
Lantern.
you know?
Think like Green Lantern here.
Yeah,
like, you've
I
got,
would love to do that if you want to go on a
Yeah.
ride with me.
Yeah, sounds
okay.
good.
Let's do it.
All right, so like friggin'
I
magic
want to
carpet
fly.
ride. Yeah, so now
Just go
like,
into a
you're
musical.
friggin' flying now. You're a flying
I
dinosaur.
get to pretend I'm a pteranodon instead. Like,
Yeah, and I mean you have the teleporting ability as well, but this is pretty fast. And as you start heading towards the building, you can see people are moving away and they're heading off into the shelters and evacuating the area. But the whole ground, it's not just the building, but like the plaza around the building is it's like superimposed itself with something else that's also like the same building, but there's things that are off. As you get closer to the building, you can see that the antennas at the top of the building, the giant radio towers, they're completely different design. You can see in the plaza, trees are in different positions. But as it's happening, they're like rubbing against each other, and every time the image shifts like back and forth across each other, it's like it's rubbing, and parts are being like shaved away like a cheese grater, and yeah, it's quite
alarming.
unnerving. It's
Yeah.
really crazy, and I would say if you assess the situation, which is a superior role, you'll be able to ask me a number of questions about what you might be able to see, or I can just bring you into, where I would take you as you're flying in. It's not going to be too hard. It's that same red glow that was taking out the wall from the void, except it's enveloping this entire building, and it's coming from the rooftop of another smaller building across the street from it.
oh,
Like being aimed at the building.
okay.
But it's as you come closer, there's the void, and his henchman with this machine, and it's the same weapon he was using on the wall. It's being amplified through some sort of like a square lens, like a window, and it's going through that, and then it's creating this amplified field that's enveloping this whole building.
Well, that's how they would have taken the post office then.
Yeah.
Like before it was a wall, then it was a small building. Now they're taking it into like a huge building.
How many of these weapons do
Now,
they
directly
have?
engaging the threat that's here, or when the team goes in, you don't have to engage through fists. You can engage through like, "Hey, you! Stop what you're doing." That's also engaging the threat, right?
feel like they
So-
would just bounce if they heard us coming, or they're. This is definitely a larger operation than it was before.
It's
so
the
maybe they
if the
can't.
henchmen are working on the machinery, the void in his big blowing cape is or like trench coat thing. He's got a bit of a what's his name?
Darkman almost, or
Darkman and Warshack and that, like it's all that kind of stuff
yeah.
is going with it.
Right.
Yeah.
And Hush.
Sure,
And,
yeah.
and he's overlooking like a foreman. He's watching this operation going, and,
Yeah.
and he seems to be barking orders. But you're still coming in from the air. You can't really make out what's going on because all you can hear is the rumble of this like whatever's happening
Yeah.
to this building.
I have a question. From our battle earlier, when you pushed the gun away, was he able to like take the gun on his way back, or do they just probably have like a large supply?
He took off and jumped through the portal without the gun.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever he's got is a replacement or something else.
Okay. I want to get my hands on one of those. Just
Yeah.
to dissect and better understand that piece of technology. I have an ability here, actually, alien tech, where I can alter a human device with my alien technology.
Oh, cool.
And so I think that's something that I would be particularly interested in, I guess in a more passive sense, if we weren't to like actually like attack them. I don't know what y'all want to do, but
I think we should
it's really
definitely
interesting.
confront them.
I would
but,
like to very
Head
much.
to that
yeah.
rooftop.
Yeah, I think that's a good
um,
idea. Do we want to further assess the situation? Maybe whoever has the highest superior, we could work with that,
Sure.
or what should we do?
My superior is pretty low, so
Yeah, my superior is at 1 right now.
I have
Mine's
2.
moved.
okay.
Okay, and I'm sure that when we're assessing a situation, we can all pool together questions to ask. Is that right?
Yeah.
To better scope out, or is that just upon the one person?
It's
who
really
is
meant for
doing
the one
so?
person.
Okay, sure. Do you think we should further assess? Or do you just want to head straight in there?
We should probably assess. Last time we
Yeah.
burst right into the situation and
Well, I tried to
Missed
assess,
it.
but I had a
Okay.
bad assess, so we got to make sure we get a good roll on this if we're going to do so.
And you've got 4 points in team. If the
Okay.
two of you want to help
Yeah.
White Light assess, you can each spend those 2 points in team, and that'll add 2 to the roll.
Oh, okay, all right. We could do that. Do you want to take the honors, or should I?
The bonus on the roll can never be higher than +4.
Okay,
But just wanted you to know that too.
sure.
Just make a choice. I don't want to spend too much time.
so I guess I
deliberating.
should
wanna
roll
get
it
to
because
good
I've
stuff.
got.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So I've got 10,
That's good.
and then.
That's it. That's all you need.
Yeah. All right.
So you get to ask me 2 of the following questions. What here can I use to blank? What here is the biggest threat? What here is the greatest danger? What here is in the greatest danger? Who here is the most vulnerable to me? And how could we best end this quickly? Those are the questions you get to ask me.
Okay. So let's go with who here is the most vulnerable to me.
The person who's most vulnerable to you would be the void.
That's good. And then how could we best end this quickly?
The void seems on edge and agitated and stressed. And there is a way to end this quickly, might not be through fighting.
Okay. So maybe
You don't know
We just need to get
what
in there
or
and
why the void is doing any of this.
So maybe we need to get in there and let the void know that we're here and we don't want him to, or we intend to stop him.
Yeah, we're not
Yeah.
going to back down from something like this. You can't just get away with that. So, yeah.
Okay.
Just make
we
like a
should just have
grand
that.
heroic entrance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should have like
Yeah.
some entrance or something. That
Yeah.
We do.
Everybody do a Ginyu pose.
Yeah. yeah.
Yeah, that would be
Exactly.
that would be your team move. Actually, when you enter the battle against a dangerous foe as a team. Is that what you're doing?
I would
that's
like
what
to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would
that'd
really
be
like
fun.
to. I think
Yeah.
we should make something of this.
Okay,
Oh,
so that
man.
puts 2 into the team pool. Who's the leader this time? Just tell me.
Who wants to lead on that one?
It's a group of 3, so really it's just a matter of as long as everyone doesn't pick a different person, like It only takes 2 votes to make a leader here.
Ah.
Just tell me who the leader is. Who's in charge?
I'll put myself forward.
Okay.
For a group
Yeah.
of superheroes, we're all pretty passive when it comes to
Come
leading.
on.
I guess I would
Do
like
you
to
have
be in
influence over
control.
both teammates still?
Yes, I do.
Okay, that's another one. Is everyone going into this fight with the same purpose?
Yeah.
To
it's-
stop the
believe
void?
so.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Stop the
think
void.
so.
Yeah.
Do you both trust the team leader?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're ready for this. So you are going into this fight with 6 team.
right.
Yeah.
So you land, and the void turns around. It's like, not you again.
Sorry, looks like you couldn't avoid more trouble from us.
He seems to like as he talks,
Get
he
it?
wheezes. Like his breathing is hard to do.
Oh, jeez. Did I puncture a lung?
Yeah, I was gonna
like
say,
earlier?
like, did you hurt him?
I mean, I tried to.
Yeah.
It's like, you foolish children, you don't know what you're meddling in.
What are we
Just
meddling in?
leave now, and I'll let you live.
Well, we don't really appreciate what you did before, putting so many people in danger. And we don't want you to think that you can just get away with something like that.
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. And no one will stop me from my...
Well, what needs are being met by wrecking up
From
this
your-
building? Oh.
Yeah, it seems like that's gonna harm many people.
These
What-
tests are necessary. They're necessary to complete my task.
What is your task then?
You would never understand the weight of the responsibility given to me.
Maybe I'd understand if you
children.
let people know what your leads are.
Roll superior.
If you cooperate.
Roll superior.
I'm so sick of people not telling me what I want them to tell me. Is it superior?
Yeah, -1 because he has influence
yeah.
over you.
Oh wow, so that's 9.
It's a 9.
Yeah,
You've been rolling really well,
I
man.
am. It's because I'm leader. 'Cause I'm using my enhanced dino.
Choose one of
mind.
these. They stumble and you take +1 forward against them. They make an error, which gives you a critical opportunity, or they overreact. They can instead. I have to choose this. Sorry, they.
Yeah.
They rise to the bait.
What you gonna do?
You. They are going to err and give you a critical opportunity, and he reveals that this is just an experiment. The true test will happen soon, and then I will save my city.
Your city? What the heck does that mean?
And he turns to his henchmen, increase the power! And they turn it on, and as that happens, part of the building just begins to, like, the outside of it is now starting to, like, swirl and, like, crush in. But there's still this image, this, like, shaking red-green image of the building is still, like, moving over it.
All right, I think this is going on long enough.
Yeah.
I guess we're just gonna have to stop him then.
Yeah.
Yep.
For real this time.
Yep.
So let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah.
So we're just still posed, standing there like, well, we're gonna stop you right now.
Okay.
Eventually.
So, who wants to directly engage the threat?
I guess I
like-
can.
like
and then-
Erika-
yeah.
I don't think we want me to do that because I lose points.
What do you want to? What do you
Oh.
want to do here?
Okay. Good point.
The void, actually appeals to you, Jane. These outcasts and outsiders would never understand what we're trying to save. You could help me.
I don't want to help you. Yeah, might be an outsider, but destroying my own city isn't part of the deal. Turn off that machine.
While this happens, he have your roll to reject this influence he's trying to push
Okay.
over you.
So 8, and then I get +2 from I don't care what you think. So that's 10.
Yeah.
I
So
won't
so
do
you're
what
just
you
you're
told
like
me.
you know
I'll
what?
do what I want.
Screw
Yeah.
screw you.
Whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So someone here then the machine is starting to get more powerful, and the image of this building is like it's disappearing. So you're running out of time to make a choice about what you're going to try and do.
Yeah.
Well, I think I would personally really like to focus in on breaking that machine.
Yeah. That
If
sounds
we
like a
can
good
break the
idea.
machine, that's especially
Okay.
since that's the most dangerous thing here in this given situation. I feel like if we deal with all of these henchmen and
You don't have
with
a
the
whole lot
void,
of time to
that's
talk amongst yourselves. You
Yeah.
just have to tell me what you want to do now.
well, I want to put my attention to the device itself. I know I can alter human devices. It's a matter of getting to the machine.
You have an opportunity after rejecting his influence as well. You could pierce the mask.
Okay.
You could roll your mundane stat to see what the void is really trying to do,
Okay.
right? That's an option as well for you. And piercing the mask is another move we haven't done yet. So,
Yeah.
so let's set this up. What's at stake is this building is going to be destroyed
Yeah.
very soon. People have not escaped from this building yet, so there will be innocents lost if you cannot save this building. Something is happening to that building. You don't really know what's going on, and the Void's motivations are murky. So each of you just tell me what you would like to do here in this scene before we run out of time. The roll's at the end of the episode.
Okay. I guess I'd want to pierce the mask then and ask what they're planning.
Okay, so roll mundane. Tell me what the result is.
So it's 8, and then I get it's 9.
A 9. If someone wants to use a team, they can boost that to a 10.
I'll do that.
Okay, so you're helping Jane. So give me back that. So
Okay.
You still have a bunch of team left. So the two of you are now piercing this mask because you're both together, and you
And
kind
we
of
get to ask
You get
3
to
of
ask
the
me
questions.
3. What are they planning? What do they want to? What do you want me to do? What do you intend to do? How could I get your character to do blank? How could I gain influence over you? Those are the 3 questions. Those are among the 5. You get to ask 3 of those questions.
Let's start with what are you really planning?
What he's really planning is he's testing, replacing one of your buildings with one of mine, and he's bringing a building from his world into this to see that it can be done, to prove that it can be done.
Okay. How could I get you to turn off that machine?
No one can get me to turn off this machine.
And how can I gain an influence over you?
He just laughs maniacally and pulls his gun from his hand.
Oh crap.
He's a villain.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
All right.
It's like,
Well,
how could we resolve this differently?
it's worth asking.
he then he heads over to his machine and he orders
you
his
use this
henchmen
device,
to attack
To
the 3
attack
of you.
us. Okay.
So
great.
they all get up and they turn around and they're like, and they run.
So it's attack
What are
time
they,
now.
putties now?
Yeah, there's like 6 of them, and they go to charge at
Reminds me
you.
of like Earthbound when they're like shaking
Oh,
to
yeah,
you
yeah.
or something.
I don't know. You're gonna
Yeah.
try to alter that machine.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
Being attacked.
I have an idea then.
Oh.
One of them, one of the henchmen turns, and you see his face. You recognize him because there's no face under the head. He throws off his trench coat and disappears.
Wait, I knew who that was?
It's the kid who was running down the hallway in your compound.
the invisible kid?
The invisible kid.
boy?
He's one of the henchmen there. He turns around
Oh
and
my
throws his
God.
trench coat off and disappears.
You freak! What? What the hell are you doing here? He's probably still here.
Yeah.
He's probably just running around like an idiot.
Yeah. In fact, as that's happening, your give me a roll.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you know what? Nothing's gonna hurt you. But he's like, "What are you doing here?" And he's just like, he's hitting you, like he's running around like from nowhere. You're like,
Quit it!
You can't. You don't know where he's coming from.
Quit it, man.
You
Go
can see
home.
because of the auras.
Yeah.
So you can still see his aura even if he's invisible because you don't see things to the same spectrum of light.
Yeah, of course.
But
Tell me where to swing.
So the kid and you and you're the only one who notices that most of these henchmen are other like.
So they're all from
recruits.
that. They're all from that compound.
Maybe.
Well, then I think I guess he kind of was running around like he broke out earlier, but I'm gonna have to ask the doctors what's going on.
Yeah, there's no time for that because
Yeah.
this is happening.
So what I'm
the
gonna
void is turning over to the machine and he's cranking it.
Okay,
now.
so what I want to do, so this is like directly engaging the. Actually, you know what? I'm going to unleash my powers.
Okay.
I want to just like do like a huge stomp.
Yeah.
That's just gonna knock everyone over.
Right.
Yeah.
So
And
give me a roll on
possibly
freak.
break this on freak.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's what unleash your powers is because this isn't just using your superpowers. You can use your superpowers whenever you want. This is pushing your superpowers beyond a limit that you know.
I do have hopeless still going on though, so that's -2.
Okay.
So it's only gonna be a +1.
So you're not sure how your powers work.
I've never fully unleashed
You've never-
the beast before.
You've only used it to scare people.
Yeah, and like bite tall trees.
It's dino time.
It is dino time. So that's 8 -2, or no, +1. So it's 9.
It's only 9.
Yeah.
So when you unleash your powers on a 7 to 9, you will mark a condition, or I will tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary.
Oh.
So in this case, it won't be temporary; it'll be unstable.
Yeah.
So how does it go awry? Or if you don't want me to tell you how it goes awry and you want it to work, you can mark a condition instead.
I'll mark a condition.
So what are you going to take?
I'm gonna take guilty for something.
Why don't you take afraid?
Actually,
because
wait.
you're not really sure what's going on with
Yeah.
these kids.
Yes, actually, that makes much more sense.
Okay. So when you stomp down, the building doesn't actually crumble apart like might
Good.
have happened.
Good.
Because you're on top of
Yeah.
a roof of a building that
Yeah.
you could have just crushed to pieces.
Well, just
goody.
stop destroying that building.
But it sends out cracks in the floor that the henchmen stumble.
Yeah.
And one of them gets knocked back and is knocked out. And the machine, like for a moment, it kind of goes like it turns off, it turns back on, it like flickers, and then it keeps going. But just as it flickers, the whole building on the other side of the street kind of like drops just a bit, and like all this dust and rock is falling off, but it's still there. But it was just like for a moment. But you remember how when it was turned off too quickly, how the building at Exocon started to fall apart,
True.
right? So this needs to be turned down, not just turn the plug off.
I don't even know if I just want to like turn it down. I just want to destroy it.
Okay, so
Frankly,
I
don't know.
White light. What do you
Or
want
what
to
do
do?
you? I don't know. You
No,
seem like you have
well,
something in
like-
mind.
No, well, I mean, like,
You're dealing with
It
the
just-
henchmen. You're like
Yeah.
they're coming at you,
Yeah,
and you're
exactly.
flinging
Yeah.
them. You're
Because like
rolling them
I
around.
can't-
I want
You
to, yeah.
take one and you just kind of like stop hitting me.
Yeah.
just hitting him with the invisible boy.
You
Yeah.
could also use your savior to defend. Like you could stand yourself in the way to defend your teammates from the henchmen. But
okay.
you've already rolled your
Yeah, I
unleash powers.
can't do that right now.
So it works. You do the shock and it does knock everyone down.
Okay.
Okay, that's good.
White light.
I want to fly to the machine since everybody's distracted.
Yep.
I'm just trying to think.
You've got a moment of vulnerability where the void was also knocked down
Yes.
by that stomp.
Yes.
And the thing flickered. So you've got this one chance to do
one
something.
chance.
What do you want to do?
I'm going to use my heliokinesis. I'm going to use like my solar energy powers to
And just shock it.
just shock it.
Blow it apart.
Just shock it. Yeah.
Okay.
I
So,
want to stop it.
So engage the threat.
Okay.
So roll me danger.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm at 10.
So you do, and the machine blows off.
nice.
And that blurry effect like a evaporates away, and the whole building that was there, it's almost like, again, parts of it aren't, and it kind of collapses and it crumbles, but it's not falling, but it's really not in stable condition.
Yeah.
Parts of it had disappeared, and then they just start to crash, and everything's like, and the void just screams out, "No, you'll pay for this!" And he leashes out to attack you, and he pulls one of his weapons from his hand, and he's gonna aim it towards you. Jane, what would you like to do? The machine's been destroyed, and the the building across the street is not in great shape, but a more immediately white light is in close proximity to an attack.
So I guess I'd want to defend white light. Yeah.
So go ahead and roll Savior.
Oh, no. I only got a 4.
Okay, so with that happening, you're like, no, and you try to, like, you don't know what to do. Take a condition. Is it helpless? Is that one of the conditions?
Hopeless.
Hopeless. Take hopeless.
Okay.
And you're not able to do anything, so you're gonna take the blow, white light.
Okay.
Do you have any active conditions right now?
I have hopeless.
Yeah. So roll +1.
+1. So I have 10 + 1 then?
Yeah, so
Okay,
that's 11, which means you either must remove yourself from the situation where you're knocked out or you flee, or in this case, maybe you get hit and you just fall. You lose control of yourself, of your powers in a terrible way, or you can choose 2 options from the next list. Lash out, provoking a teammate to foolhardy action, probably won't work. You give ground, your opposition gets an opportunity, or you struggle past the pain and mark 2 more conditions.
Oof.
But you have to choose 2 of those. In this case, you would both give ground and take 2 conditions, or you lose yourself and your powers are unleashed in a terrible way.
I'll give ground and lose 2 conditions.
Okay, what 2 conditions are you going to take?
Let's see. Well, afraid for 1, and then I'll do anger.
Okay, so you
Love
avoid
anger.
the shot from the ray gun,
Yeah.
as like a ball of red energy goes flying past you.
Right.
But it means that you've moved off. The void has taken his ground again, and he sees his machine broken. But he grabs the mirror that they were shooting it through, and he collapses it like a. Not like an umbrella, but like it was on like
Like a
big
telescoping.
stand.
Yeah.
It collapses into a single bar.
Okay.
And he's getting ready to make an exit, and he starts to point that portal gun he used again.
Right.
And you've gotten 2 conditions. So he's going to make an escape.
Yeah, he's not getting away.
No? Okay.
No, I'm stopping him.
Okay. How?
I would like to. If I were to say fall off this building, would I be okay?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna charge, grab him, and then jump off the building.
Okay. So just as you're saying, you're going like, it's like
An
you may
act
have
of
stopped me today,
heroism.
but my experiment is proof. And when next we meet, this city shall become mine. So are you directly engaged? I guess this is unleash your powers.
Yeah, unleashing again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you have you know what? Your move here in your playbook, if we remember, unstoppable.
Oh
When you
yeah,
smash
unstoppable.
your way through danger, roll. The world breaks before you, and you get what you want.
Yes.
Or on a 7 to 9, choose mark a condition, leave something behind, or take something with you. On a miss, you smash through, but leave devastation in your wake and wind up somewhere worse.
Oh no!
Sounds good. Let's go for that.
I really hope
That is
you...
a literal roll of the dice that I am okay with. Big bunny, big bunny. What is this go
It's
under?
unstoppable is danger,
Danger.
which is currently at 0.
Yeah, okay, whatever. That's 8.
That's 8.
Yeah.
So choose, mark a condition, leave something behind, take something with you.
Well, I mean, I wanted to take him with me,
Well,
but that's
yeah,
that's
but
just
this
an
would be like
implied
something
thing.
else.
Yeah. Like unbeneficially?
Yeah, this isn't something that's gonna work in your favor. You
So, I
So
already
this
have
is
a
what
lot of
happens when
conditions,
you go
honestly.
and grab Void.
Yeah.
White light was right behind him, over the edge of the building,
Oh.
flying, and you all 3 get
Oh,
caught up
jeez.
in this rampage.
Oh.
and you
Oh,
go
I'm so
flying
sorry.
Off the roof.
You'll probably be fine, but oops.
And as the Void is screaming, we'll see you next week on the Terrible Warriors.
Will our heroes survive their catastrophic fall?
And there you're just up on this roof going like,
Where did everybody go?
They were my ride up here.
Every time you guys got a miss, you're still remembering to mark potential, right?
Oh.
Oh, I need to mark one more of those.
Did I get potential from that?
Yeah, mark down 2
Okay.
from this session.
And I guess I got a potential.
Sweet.
I
from
really
that
want to
then
get
as
that
well.
to there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty close.
Mark for the end of this session, because it was a full episode. Mark another potential, everybody, for the experience.
Okay, that
Okay.
puts me at 5.
Yep. Which means you have the opportunity of taking a moment of truth if you'd like it. That would be a great moment. That would be a great thing.
Yeah.
We don't have enough time to do the team move because we're still like, this isn't resolved. But we will find out more next week on what's going on with the Void. Is he really just an ineffectual guy who just gets knocked around by a dinosaur all the time? Like, this is just like poor guy. This is just his lot in life.
I'd like to think that
bad
look
guy.
of fear in his eyes happen again, and he's just like, "Oh no,
Gotta
not
think of a really
again."
bad guy. But both Shadowhawk, Void, and Grass Dragon are names from our Patreon supporters that they provided to replace their own names. So that was, if I go back to my name list that I have here, the Void is Andrew Rempel, Grass Dragon is Alexander Corbett, and Nate Salt was Shadowhawk. And so that's who they have been played as.
Nice.
So we will figure more of what happens next week in our 3rd episode of Masks. Sitting here at the table with my weird players, I have the dinosaur currently falling from a great height,
Orie Falconer.
and standing up on top of the building, going, "You guys, we have the delinquent."
Jenn Walker.
And caught up in something I don't think White Light was really okay with. We have hurtling to the ground, clearly at the bottom of this particular pancake.
Erika Szabo.
You're gonna be fine. You'll be fine.
I can float.
Yeah, you can
Float.
fly.
I'm in
like-
danger.
We got telepathy. We got a teleporter in the team. We'll figure it out.
Well, it'll all be okay.
Whatever.
Or will it?
The adults are gonna
Dun,
come
dun, dun.
save you. And I'm Justin Ecock. Thanks for listening. Take it away, Justin. No, thanks, Justin. The Terrible Warriors has new episodes every Tuesdays and every Thursdays, and Masks will return in 2 weeks' time. They're just gonna keep falling and falling and fall. They're gonna be fine. They're gonna be fine. We'll come back to them in 2 weeks. We'll check them out because on Thursday, if you return to the show, we've got a new campaign from our Edmonton crew. Do you recall the adventures of Change and Stone? That story of those ne'er-do-well bounty hunters as they traveled across the weird West? Well, if you didn't finish the campaign, allow me to catch you up. Things went a little sideways at the end. And after falling through a portal, they've ended up in the exact same place, but in a very wrong time. On Thursday, we return to the adventures of Change and Stone in a campaign set in the wasted West, in a world that's hell on Earth. And on Tuesday of this next week, we continue our story of mutants in orbit, The mutants, they're in orbit. Things are getting a little out of control. They're heading off to the moon. The bees, it's all gonna come to a head real soon. And when that's done, we'll have a new campaign for you, recording actually this weekend on March 5th. It's a campaign chosen by our Patreon supporters in a poll we put up on the page. Any supporter of any amount gets access to our polls, and you have chosen that the next campaign after Mutants in Orbit will be Norlandia. A weird, crime-ridden, noir, supernatural game. There's no GM involved. And there's some visual elements, so in that case, you might want to follow us on Instagram so you can see what we were doing, as well as all current updates you can find on Twitter at Dice Warriors and on our Facebook page. And of course, you can choose to become a Patreon supporter. That means you'll get named in our campaigns at certain tier levels. You'll get access to our polls. You'll become like Grass Dragon and Shadowhunter. Yes, you too can become an annoying adult is set in the world to antagonize our heroes. And until we meet again, dear listeners, masks will return in 2 weeks' time. Is that a bird? Is that a plane? No, oh god, it's just a giant dinosaur falling from the sky!